Brad Savage is with us. He's our last guest. Actually, we have another segment after this. We're going to be talking a little interview that we did out on Tyler Bend with John Paul Hammersmith about his involvement with the, actually, he was instrumental in getting the Buffalo River on the National Registry of, actually it's the first national river in the United States. We'll talk to him a little bit later on the show, but now we have Brad Savage with us from the Amazing Grace Youth Ranch. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing good.
Now you brought an entourage with you.
Yes,
I thought they were going to be on the.
I'm up here with you.
They're just here for support.
Support? Well, we need all the support we can get too. How you doing, sir?
I'm good.
Now tell us about the Amazing Grace Youth Ranch.
Well, it's a nonprofit organization, and we go out and we rescue abused, neglected, or abandoned horses, and then we rehabilitate them, and we actually bring children out, and they can ride the horses. They can have their own little session with a volunteer, them and a horse. They can learn all about the horses and everything like that, and they can just really get involved in the program, and we teach them about Christ through the use of the horses. And so, I mean, it's a really good program for the kids, and they all love it. And actually next week, we're putting on our annual ranch camp.
And where's the ranch located?
It's at 7748 Snowball Creek Road for your MapQuest.
Snowball Creek Road. Now tell us in the areas where that's at.
Right.
Everton is the official address, but we're actually just south of Valley Springs, a little ways.
Okay, so you go past the Everton Road. That's
Yes, sir.
what highway is it? 412? 206. 206. That's right. And then you turn right at the next road, I think, right past.
It's right past it. Yeah.
Ritter. Ritter Communications.
Past Ritter Communications. Yes,
And you
sir.
go down there, and I think it's on the left-hand side, about a mile or two. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I went out there one day. I think when you had a grand opening, and you were out there painting horses with paint.
Oh yeah, the kids love that.
You dip your hands in paint, and you just painted the horse.
Oh yeah.
Is that part of your therapy, or do
It's
the horses love it?
It's just something fun for the kids to do, and you know the horses just love the attention.
You bet.
We'll actually be doing it next week at our ranch camp, so I mean they can come out and it's just finger paint and you paint all over.
And what other abuse do you put on the horses? No, they love it. They did love it. They just loved the interaction with the people, didn't they? The hands all over them.
Well,
That
and
was cool.
the kids. I mean, you know, that's a great way for them to be able to bond with that animal as well.
Now, this has been how long has the Amazing Grace Youth Ranch been open?
We actually opened in 2005.
Okay.
That's when we first opened.
Okay.
And this is run on donations, is that right?
Absolutely.
Strictly on donations and
Totally
whoever
nonprofit.
volunteer and the whole thing. It's actually an amazing story. And I think we had someone representing the ranch last year, and they gave us some stories about some
Was
of
that
the.
you?
That was me.
Was that you, really?
I thought that was you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you told us a story about one of the horses that was you just given up for dead. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And tell us about that again. Tell us what happened to that horse.
Well, we had actually rescued him along with 3 or 4 other horses, but he was by far the worst one of them. And we just went through 2 weeks or so, you know, just going back and forth with this horse, trying to get him to eat feed and stuff like that, you know, so he can gain weight. And he was just so far downhill that he eventually got so weak that he couldn't even stand. And whenever a horse gets to that point, their body actually turns on itself and starts feeding off of itself. And so this horse, I mean, everything was just shutting down inside of him, and he couldn't stand. He had no strength. And we had a harness rigged up where we could just lift him up with the tractor. And so we had him in a little pen inside of our barn. So I mean, he had plenty of shelter, and we had everything there for him. He just wouldn't eat and wouldn't drink or anything. And so we eventually got to the point where my father had to make the decision, you know, this horse is going through too much pain.
Yeah.
You know, none of the vets said he would make it. They all said, you know,
the vet even said he was not going to make it.
Just go ahead, and I mean, Dad was trying to decide, you know, do I call the vet and have her come out and do it, or you know, what do we do?
Right.
This horse is just going through too much. And so my dad just was making up the feed for the other horses because they also need attention. You know, they were pretty bad shape, but just not quite as bad as this one. And he was making up the feed for them, and he wasn't looking at the horse. He had his back turned to it. Said he was 5 foot away from it. That's where our feed bin is. And he just said a little prayer. You know, God, I don't know what else you want us to do. We've done everything we can with this horse. It's all up to you now. And he nickered, and Dad turned around and that horse was standing up,
Wow,
and never had to lift him up again.
that's neat.
And we
Do you
still
have-
have him out there.
Do you have horses like this that are similar stories? I mean, how do you find out about these horses? Do people
Well-
call you, or?
Well, most of the time, my dad has a business where he's out on the road quite a bit, and he can see them, wherever he's going, and also people that we know will call us, with just anonymous tips or whatever. We've got this horse out here. You guys might want to come take a look at it. And so he'll go out there and we'll assess the situation, see what we need to do, and we'll try to buy him off of.
Oh, okay. So he's
whoever
not
it
a
is.
horse police kind of guy where he comes in and says, "You need
Well,
to
at
fix that
first,
horse."
we'll take the steps. If we can't purchase them, then we still got to get this horse out of
Right.
this situation
Right.
because it's still suffering.
He's being abused.
Yeah, absolutely. And so we'll notify the authorities. They'll come out. They'll assess the situation as well. Then they'll make the decision. You need to give this horse to this youth ranch, or serious consequences or whatever. And so then we'll try and get the horse
That
out.
process starts. Okay.
How many horses do you have there?
Right now, I believe we have 11.
Wow, that's quite a bit. Is that as many as you've ever had?
20 is the most. we've
20.
ever had.
Okay. Okay.
Big undertaking.
And are
Yeah.
you in need of immediate funds? I mean, I'm sure you always are, but I mean, are you in a crisis situation right now, or?
Not right now. Right now, we're just trying to get the word out about our ranch
Right.
camp next week. Try and get as
Okay.
many kids involved
give
with that
us-
as possible.
Give
Yeah.
us more details on the camp.
It's the 19th through the 22nd. It'll be 5:30 to 8:30. The kids come out, and it's just kind of like a VBS ranch style.
Okay.
We're gonna have that Friday night. We always have a big cookout where all the parents are invited out, and it's just a lot of fun. We have, they get out, they get to ride the horses. They get to have a lot of games, a lot of activities, crafts. I think last year we had them painting all over the barn walls and everything with finger paint and everything. They could just paint whatever they wanted, and all sorts of egg toss that turned into an egg fight, actually. So it was a lot of fun. But they just come out and they just have a great time, and we'd like to see a lot more children involved with this, as well as a lot more volunteers.
Okay.
And there's
Good.
always a spiritual message involved.
Absolutely, absolutely. Just like with the VBS, we do have little lesson sessions where you'll have a guy come out and he'll use the horses as a demonstration or something like that, and get the message across that way.
Now, what age can be involved?
We don't take any children 3 and under for the ranch camp,
Okay.
so over 3, and it's up to 7th or 8th grade.
Okay.
Okay.
And this event's happening again when?
It'll be the 19th through the 22nd, so next week.
So
Next
what
week.
is, if you have someone that's interested, what do they need to do?
You can we have a lot of information on our Facebook page, Amazing Grace Youth Ranch.
Okay.
You can look at us up that way, or you can call 870-416-2071.
So we encourage you to call or also check out the Facebook page.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
A lot of
If you need
information
something
there.
for the kids to do, this is the perfect time to do it. And
And
just
it's
call them.
out of the realm of an ordinary VBS, so
Absolutely.
it's a great opportunity.
Brad, thanks a lot for coming again.
Thank you.
Great
Thank
luck
you.
to you out there with you and your horses.
I will need
And
it.
thank your entourage for showing up today. We appreciate that also. Thank y'all. All right, we're going to take our last break, and when we come back, we'll do an interview with John Paul Hammersmith, one we did on location down there at Tyler Bend for the 40th anniversary of the Buffalo River. Stay with us.